Every time I see a movie, there is always a level of thoughts and emotions. There are times when movies make me happy and full of joy. Then there are movies that make me kinda teary-eyed. Then along comes movies where it makes me shiver in fear. Then along comes movies that makes me say, really? Are we seriously going with this? Then along comes movies where it makes me put my fist into something. Whew. And now, we got this. Now tell me, which emotion I am when it comes to this film? Inside Out is a newly animated Pixar film from the people that made films such as Up and WALL-E and many more. So what is this film all about? Well, it's about an 11-year-old girl named Riley who moves to San Francisco with her parents, and now she's torn up about it. And while this is going on, she has a control room in her brain, and we have joy, sadness, disgust, fear, and anger. And of course, things go wrong and thus creating a challenge. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen something like this. We have a person, they have their little control room in their brain. We've seen all of that already, but this movie, hold on, I need a moment. Whew. This film is awesome! I mean, this is literally one of the greatest Pixar films I've seen for a while. I mean, I am extremely impressed. This film is really clever and knowledgeable at its ways. The emotional core is really well executed. These emotions have their own personalities. And of course, this is a really funny film. But not only that, I feel like that not only this film is made for kids, but also aimed for adults as well. Now, don't get me wrong, kids are gonna love this film. They're gonna laugh too, but at times, it feels like the movie has some jokes that are made for adults too. Because kids, they are there for the laughs, and animation is colorful, right? But for adults, you hear the jokes in the movie are so logical, and you're like, that is so true. And you have yourself a little laugh, and that is really great. Now, I view this movie from a mental health standpoint. I mean, there are not many movies aimed for kids that talks about emotions, depression. I mean, as adults, we have watched movies that talks about all of that, but not necessarily aimed for kids. But this one has it because it's all about a little girl who lost her happiness and she has conflicts in her life and how her brain works. I mean, how many times do you see a person in the street and they're not acting right? And then you say, what is going on in that guy's head? Now, the movie cuts back to her world, then cuts back to her real world, and in her mind there are these lands that represent her, and there are some creativity and imaginations in these worlds in her brain, which makes this film really great. In her real world, you see what she's going through, and there was actually one scene in the movie which was, oh my goodness. It was so emotional, and all I could hear was people sniffing in the theater all around me. And as for the 5 emotions, they are awesome. They have their own personalities, like I said. Joy is the leader in the control room, whose priority is to make this girl happy. I love her character, and the rest of the emotions are really great. But my favorites is sadness and anger, voiced by Louis Black. Wonderful. And that's all I have to say about this film. I'm not going to say anything else. This is a really good film, and you definitely have to see this film. You will have a great time. You will be moved by this film. This is definitely one of the greatest Pixar films I have seen for a long time. Kids will love it, adults will love it, I loved it, and therefore I am full of joy. Which means I'm gonna give Inside Out 10 happy faces out of 10. When I saw the trailer of this movie, I knew it had some potential, and right off the bat, I was like, 10 out of 10, the end. And there we go, 10 out of 10. So, that is my review of Inside Out. Thank you for watching. More reviews on the way.